Every day I share a story from Hollywood's golden age, the moments that shaped an unforgettable era. If you enjoy revisiting these memories, subscribe and stay with me. It costs nothing, but it means everything. Thank you for being here. Now let's begin. At 93 years old, Angie Dickinson has finally broken her silence about Robert Redford, and what she shared carries unexpected emotional weight. After decades of quiet respect and untold memories, her words reveal a side of Hollywood few ever truly saw. Angie Dickinson, born Angeline Brown on September 30, 1931, in the small town of Colne, North Dakota, rose from a modest Midwestern upbringing to become one of Hollywood's most striking and admired leading women. Her early life was far removed from glamour. Raised by Frederica and Leo Henry Brown, hard-working parents of German heritage, Angie grew up during the Great Depression. Those difficult years shaped her resilience, discipline, and inner strength. When her family moved to Burbank, California, Angie attended Immaculate Heart College and later Glendale College. Even then, her confidence, charm, and natural presence set her apart. At first, she imagined a quiet life, perhaps writing or working behind the scenes. But fate had other plans. Everything changed when she entered a beauty pageant in the early 1950s and caught the attention of casting directors who immediately recognized her star potential. With her smoky voice, striking beauty, and magnetic energy, Angie began landing small but memorable roles in television and film. She worked relentlessly, appearing in popular anthology series and westerns that dominated the era. By the mid-1950s, she was sharing the screen with established Hollywood legends, sharpening her craft with every performance. Her breakthrough came in 1959 with Howard Hawks' classic western Rio Bravo. Starring alongside John Wayne, Dean Martin, and Ricky Nelson, Angie's portrayal of Feathers transformed her into a household name. Confident yet vulnerable, glamorous yet grounded, she proved she could stand toe-to-toe with the biggest male stars in the industry. Throughout the 1960s, Angie Dickinson didn't just work, she thrived. She became one of Hollywood's most in-demand actresses, seamlessly moving between westerns, crime dramas, thrillers, and high-glamour romances. Audiences adored her blend of elegance and emotional depth, while critics praised her ability to bring heart and authenticity to every role. Her performances in films like Ocean's 11, alongside Frank Sinatra and the Rat Pack, The Killers, Point Blank, and Big Bad Mama showcased her versatility and fearlessness. She embraced bold roles that pushed boundaries for women at a time when Hollywood often resisted change. Her screen presence was unmistakable, bold, graceful, and unforgettable. In the 1970s, Angie's career reached a new height when she starred as Sergeant Suzanne Pepper Anderson in the groundbreaking television series Policewoman, airing from 1974 to 1978. The show placed a strong, intelligent woman at the center of a crime-fighting world long dominated by men. Angie's portrayal was stylish, tough, and deeply human, resonating with audiences nationwide. The role earned her critical acclaim, awards, and Golden Globe nominations, while opening doors for future female-led television dramas. Even after Policewoman, Angie refused to slow down. She delivered a powerful performance in Brian De Palma's Dress to Kill in 1980, reminding audiences she possessed far more than glamour. She had emotional depth and serious acting skill. Through the 1980s and 1990s, she continued, choosing layered roles that reflected her growth as both an artist and a woman. Her personal life was just as complex as her career. Angie married Gene Dickinson in 1952, a former college football player who later entered the electronics business. Though the marriage ended in divorce in 1960, she chose to keep his last name, a decision that became part of her lasting Hollywood identity. During this period, Angie also formed close friendships with influential figures, including economist John Kenneth Galbraith and his wife Catherine. Through them, she entered intellectual and political circles far removed from Hollywood gossip. When Galbraith was appointed U.S. ambassador to India by President John F. Kennedy, Angie traveled overseas to visit them. The experience left such a mark that Galbraith later wrote about her in his memoirs, highlighting the depth of her character beyond the screen. In 1965, Angie married legendary composer Burt Bacharach. Together, they became one of Hollywood's most glamorous couples. Their marriage lasted 16 years and produced their daughter, Nikki. Born in 1966, Nikki faced lifelong challenges due to autism. At a time when understanding and resources were extremely limited, Angie devoted herself to her daughter's care with unwavering love and dignity. Nikki's passing in 2007, at age 40, was devastating, leaving a permanent imprint on Angie's life. Now, at 93, Angie Dickinson reflects on nearly a century of Hollywood triumphs and heartbreaks. Following the passing of Robert Redford in September 2025 at age 89, she finally shared her thoughts about a man who meant more to her than the public ever knew. She described Redford as rare, handsome, yes, but also deeply principled. He moved through Hollywood quietly, never allowing fame to define him. Angie recalled seeing him in the early days, before the legend, when he was still a shy young actor with undeniable presence. What struck her most was his humility and integrity. She spoke honestly about the challenges women faced in Hollywood, acknowledging that men like Redford had opportunities women often had to fight for. Yet she emphasized that Redford always treated women with respect, listening rather than dismissing them. When asked about romance, Angie smiled knowingly. She admitted she admired him, as many women did, but insisted their bond remained rooted in respect rather than romance. That, she believed, was why their connection endured for decades. As she reflected on his passing, her voice softened with genuine loss. She took comfort knowing he passed peacefully in Sundance, the place that truly belonged to him. Angie said she would carry his example with her always, that success doesn't require cruelty, that fame doesn't require arrogance, and that authenticity is the rarest legacy of all. Robert Redford, to Angie Dickinson, was more than a Hollywood icon. He was real, and as she quietly concluded, the world feels a little emptier without him.